What's up, guys? Blue Zerker here, and today I'm feeling a little blue. I have a slightly different lighting setup. I moved a lamp over here, and I'm going to kind of get it working on it. I had some overhead lights, and the lighting is just not good when they're on, so I kind of did some finagling. You do see a little bit of a glare here in the Wicked poster, but better than it was yesterday. That's kind of what I got going right now. I would have spent a little more time working on it, but I am tired today. It's actually like 11:30. It's a lot later than I normally record, but I wanted to make sure I still recorded. I woke up early today, went to work, had to get there like at a specific time, 6:30, because like all the big bosses were in town and whatnot. It's always weird when I have like my super upline there, only because like it doesn't bug me too much when like corporate shows up. It's one of those things where like I do what I'm supposed to be doing, and anything I'm kind of missing, I probably either have like a good reason for it, or I just don't know. And so when they like coach me on something, it helps get it done. But there are like certain things that I know I could do like a specific way that aren't like the exact standard ways, and then I can't do them when they're there, so it's like a little annoying. And the tempers of my staff are like shorter when they're there. There's just something about like a small space and having all these people coming around that like really gets everyone flared up. So that's kind of frustrating too, but hard to like, it's really hard to wrangle all that in. That is just the reality of like having so many people in an enclosed space. That being said, the day went pretty okay. I got home though and I was exhausted. I took like a 2-hour nap. I wasn't intending on it. I had to hang out a little later because we had some like manager trainees that I had to work with, and then when I got out of there, I had to go to the bank. They just hired like a new older woman. She's a very no nonsense type of person, and she's great to deal with because normally this bank is terrible. This is one of those banks that it's so slow. I don't understand what they're doing. I will be the only one there. I'll pull up there. I'll be someone sitting there. I'll do a simple deposit, and I'll be there 10 plus minutes to do a deposit, and not even a crazy amount of money. Just a basic deposit taking 10-15 minutes. So when I have to go in on a Friday to get change because whoever didn't do it, it's like a lot worse. But it was pretty easy today. Nothing too crazy happened. And I just kind of chilled on the phone while it was all taking place. I've been listening to an audiobook. I'm at the end of the Court of Thorn and Roses series. I'm on a Court of Silver Flames right now. And man, do I not care about this series anymore. I was enjoying it. I enjoyed the first episode, or I enjoyed the first book well enough, even though it's like not the best written thing in the world, and I really liked the second book. After the second book, though, I just kind of like, I don't know if it's a combination of like my blaseness with work. I used to be able to listen to it more. I did more prep and stuff when I was training, so I'd be like in the back, or I'd be like working in my book, and I could listen to something while I was working, and so it was like I could listen a lot more and see what was going on. Whereas now I only really listen on my commute to and from work, and it's like 20-25 minutes both ways, and then I normally end up listening to the rest of the chapter when I get home. But man, could I care less about Nessa Archeron? Like, I don't know. How do you take a character who's like so unlikable and poorly received and write a whole book about them, and then make me still not give a crap about the character? Like, I'm at the part where she's actually like doing some stuff. I'm in like the part 3 of the book. I think it's stylized 1, 2, and 3. It's one of the things that I miss about reading physically is that you get to see the way the book is like actually structured and see chapter endings. One of the things I don't like, I've learned when I listen to audiobooks. I do really like audiobooks, but and this might be a me thing who hasn't listened to enough audiobooks, but basically the chapter is like ending, but the cadence isn't there, that it's like the end of the chapter. So you'll just be like mid-sentence, and then the next thing will happen, and then suddenly it'll cut off. It'll be like chapter 54, and it's like, oh, I really wish I would have had a little bit of like vocal cue, that like it was the end of the chapter. Sometimes, when it's written a certain way to be dramatic enough to like make you want to turn the page, right? And then we found out they weren't dead. And there's something about like that line that, depending on the book, if it's a mystery or whatever, that makes you want to read the next page and read the next chapter. And you go, dang, I have to stop here. This sucks. I really want to know the mystery. If you're just listening like a chapter at a time. It's kind of like how an episode of TV, should pull you into the next episode and whatnot, which is like a little different now with like streaming culture, but like they really want you to hit next episode, right? Like it's the same way in a book when you have a chapter ending. And so one of the things I'm missing out on with the audiobook is actually having that as dramatic of effect as like literally seeing the finality on the page. I'm someone who likes to like look ahead and like see how many pages are left before the chapter's done. It kind of lets me mentally structure the rest of the chapter and know what I'm going to like find out or not find out. So when they're randomly just like, and then they weren't dead, and it just sounds like they're going to say more, and then they don't say more. And yeah, I find it kind of annoying. I haven't listened to enough though to know if it's like commonplace and that's just like a flaw of audiobooks, or if it's an narration thing. I will also say, it takes quite a few chapters to get into a new narrator. The first 3 books, I want to say, were narrated by the same person, and then I get to the 4th one. So I have all these voices for these characters in my head. They're the same person, who's like just been doing it. And they're not even doing like crazy voices or whatever. I'm just used to hearing the person. And then the narrator changed. And I find this on like Game Theory too. Like I liked MatPat. I don't have any issue with the newer person, but when I think Game Theory, like MatPat's voice is what comes into my head. So when I click a Game Theory video that sounds interesting and it's not MatPat, I kind of immediately get turned off from the video, even if it's like a topic I'm interested in. And I know that like I should care more about the content, but something about the delivery and who's delivering it and how they're delivering it, right, are all important things, especially for like YouTube or like Twitch or something. Like you can have the exact same content read by 30 different people, and some are going to be more entertaining to you than others. Not even like they're less quality, just like it's going to appeal to you a certain way. I discovered probably isn't the right word, but I found like Curtis Connor is someone that like I really enjoy the like a lot of the jokes and stuff. There's like a couple like potty humor things that I could care less about, but overall I think like really good commentator and comedian and like really funny. And so whereas like another vlog type, he's not really a vlogger, but like another commentary type channel that lacks his like cadence or rhythm covering the same topics, I might not find interesting. I might still find the individual interesting. I go to different people for different things. There's a YouTuber, J Rose. He does these Pokemon challenges, and I know exactly what I'm getting when I click a J Rose video, and I'm happy to do it every single time because it's just consistent. The same person kind of talking about the same game. He does all these little different challenge runs, and yeah, it's like nice to know that like when I click on a video, it's going to be pretty reliable. I think that can definitely keep people coming back to your content. I obviously don't know too much about it though, because no one's coming back to mine. No, like I said, this is all for me, but like the people who do just randomly enjoy it, thank you so much. It really is nice to see like random people comment on your videos. Me and a friend were talking about, like, he's like, you pop up on my YouTube feed, and it's really cool to see that, someone I know personally is like popping up in this impersonal field of like YouTube. It's just a very different environment. It's like when you run into someone at a place you're not expecting them, like 3 towns over, and it's like, oh my goodness, what are you doing here? Like if you're in a different state and you run into someone that it's really odd and jarring, and it's like, oh, there's like this strangeness to it. And so I imagine that's the same thing that's happening to any of my friends if they like see my video pop up and they're like, hey, it's funny. One of my best friends is like, I started watching your video, but like I really like watching it at night, like when we used to talk. And I'm like, that's really nice. We used to talk a lot more on the phone, but they're basically engaged and like have a kid now, and I just work 50 plus hours a week, and so there's a lot less time, especially crossover time. Like right now it's so late to me. It's like 11:30. I used to be someone who like went to bed at like 2:30, 3, 4. I used to have like really, really bad insomnia, and I would stay up for like 24 to 36 hours at a time. Had no semblance of a sleep schedule. Any point of the day I could be asleep, but I'm pretty consistent with like 10 to 6 now, 10:30 to 6, 6:15, because I'm supposed to be at work at 6:30, but really I like to leave my house at 6:30 because I'm on the phone or dealing with someone or something, so just depending on the day. But yeah, so I took that nap today, and it kind of helped me stay a little bit up more, which is what I'm doing now. I've got like a YouTube video I want to watch, and then I'm going to hit the hay. But yeah, nothing crazy today. I went back for my drawer change, which is like something I do on Fridays, and my 3 of the 5 people, all just kind of got there super late, and it's really frustrating. I ended up leaving and being like, let me know when you get there, because I had at least someone who could kind of cover the role. And really, it makes me upset with myself as like a leader, because on the one hand, I feel like I should stay and wait for my whole staff to be there. But on the other, it's incredibly frustrating for people to just be, combined 2 hours late, right, between 40 minutes each person. And these people like ride together and stuff. And so it's just like, there's like a responsibility thing that's missing out. So hopefully I can work on, keeping that from happening as much. But I don't know that it's going to happen. I've already had so many conversations about it. So to keep talking about it, I find just is really frustrating, especially because I'm not in like the best position to do anything about it. I'm in a position to do something about it. Obviously, I can write people up and get rid of them, but you have to have people to replace these people, and sometimes it's just way harder than that for the red tape. And I don't even want to replace these people necessarily. I just want them to be more consistent. But that being said, I've hit my 10 minutes. I'm yawning less than I did yesterday, but I know I need to kind of start heading towards the bedroom. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I was feeling a little blue. If you're feeling blue, I'm sorry to hear it. Hopefully you'll get to feeling a little better. If not, sometimes you just got to feel some of it. Otherwise, make a plan and kind of work towards it. But yeah, thank you for watching. This will get better. I just need a little more time. So, and I want to at least still be recording because, yeah, this is not good. That's a very not appealing light. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good night. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye-bye.